Hi there. On this first video for the life hack section, um, in my house I had some problem with windows. They wouldn't open, and there was one that had a broken lock, and the other one had a different fault where it had something to do with a poor installation or metal expansion, something like that. So I've uploaded the video at the end of this segment to see whether or not it'd be helpful to anybody else who ever experiences this sort of problem. So hopefully it does, but it remains to be seen. But sadly, because this is a new channel, some of this footage was filmed on a mobile phone. Gradually, I will upgrade to a HD camcorder, which will make things better. But it's watchable, I hope. So I hope you enjoy what's coming next. So thank you. Okay, everybody, listen up. Today's problem is unusual. I've got two windows in my house that won't open. Now, the idea is you push this lever in. Once it's unlocked, turn this and it will open the window. But what appears to have happened is I've pulled this out and I've noticed that it seems to have snapped. But I've noticed also the shape is almost like a screwdriver shape. So I'm going to hope in a moment I can put a screwdriver in there, connect to the piece it's supposed to unlock and get the window open. Then all I've got to do is get a new lock mechanism. But I mean, what sort of wally makes them out of plastic? Well, it's worked. I've got it off, so you can see now that the hand's off, and I've managed to open the mechanism, which of course was almost impossible to get at from any other way. But what I've noticed is that the plastic that this actuates against had broken, and that is why it wouldn't open the window. But again, what sort of wally makes a thing like this with little teeny bits of plastic in it that break? It's absolutely stupid. So now I've just got to think how I can bodge it to make it work. What I'm up with is I've removed the locking mechanism so it don't lock, but it does open the window. So it's perfectly closed and not accessible from the outside, but I can now pull that up and the window will now open and close. So it was basically the plastic lock that let the whole system down, but I will lubricate on the inside. So I've now got time to go and see if I can get the parts to replace the plastic locking mechanism to sort it out. But again, how dopey is it making it out of plastic? Absolutely stupid. So anyway, that's where I am with that, but at least I've got a window that I can open. So now I've got another window with exactly the same fault, and I have a procedure for getting it to be opening. And this is important because the one that's upstairs is actually a fire escape window. A fire escape window, you can see where you open the window and you jump down on the orangery, and then you can get down to another level. But this has got a different fault. I can press my lever in. It does bring up an unlock, but it won't go up far enough. So what I've got to do is under here, there's a bolt that's supposed to slide out the way, but it's not. But because I can get it open and I've seen how the other mechanism works, I should be able to persuade it to actually slide across so I can open it and then find out what's been holding it back from opening. From looking at the other one downstairs, I learned that approximately 8 centimeters from the center point, either one side or the other, depending on which way round it's been fitted, but I can't tell, is the lever that's supposed to pop up and get out the way to allow the window to open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try 8 centimeters with a screwdriver with a hinge on it to see if I can push it up out the way. So you can do this with like a very small Allen key or something like that, and hopefully I'll get the result. What I'm going to attempt, because I don't know which side the lever is, I'm going to pop this Allen key into the slot, then I'm going to rotate it like that, and then hold it with pliers and push it around underneath to see if I can find the bottom of the catch, and hopefully I'll be able to push it upwards to release the window, so then I can get to see what's causing the obstruction. Fortunately, that method didn't work, but as you can see, I have got it open. In the end, I got an old hinge from a gate, put a bend on the end so I can make a jemmy bar, because it was here that it was catching. So I was able to push that in here and then lever it up
to get over this, so then it released the full way. So what I suspect is, in the heat or the cold, this has moved position and just needs adjusting, and then it'll be loose. So I'm going to loosen that and let it work out its own position, and then hopefully it's job done. Found out what's causing the problem. I've taken all the metal work off and it's still catching. And what I've noticed from the window downstairs, that when this bracket is here, this gap should be here to allow the plunger to come through and interlock. But when they put this in, they've never put them in the right positions on either side. So that's why it's catching. If you look closely at the pane, you can see where the cut should be and how it's been rubbing against the actual outside frame. So I've just got to cut those out and it'll be fine. I've just used some tin snips to gouge this root out. Now watch this. Nice and smooth. Now this one's not as bad, but I'm going to do it because as heat and cold come, it expands and contracts. So I'm going to cut this one out as well. I've just done the other side now, and we can see perfect. But it's just occurred to me as well, as this is a fire escape window, you never really want it locked. So I'm going to swap the lock from this one with the one downstairs, and I don't need to buy a new lock. Win-win. I had failed to realise they make these handles in left-handed and right-handed versions. And if you can see from this, you can see from the handle, for it to look the same way, it would have to be that way around, which it can't do. So, no, tilt. It'll just have to stay lockless for the moment. That's all been reassembled, and it's sweet as a nut. Just how it should be. But while we're here, I wanted to show you